Hallo alle zusammen, herzlich willkommen. Welcome to today's conversation. Before we get started, let me know in the chat if you can hear me and see me properly, and also tell me where you are joining from today. I always love seeing where everyone is joining from. We always have people from all around the world. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Science at East from Mississippi, joining from Mississippi, Brenda. Amazing. Also, let us know in the chat where you are joining from today. I'm so excited for today's conversation because this is such a special one. Today, I'm sitting down with one of our students, Gail, and we're going to talk about her journey from starting German from complete scratch while living still in Singapore to now living and working in Germany near Stuttgart, using German daily at work with colleagues and in everyday conversations. And what makes her story even more powerful is that she has also passed both her A2 and B1 exam, and in both exams, speaking was her highest score. So that's pretty amazing. Really proud of her. And if you are preparing your relocation to Germany, or you have already relocated and you're thinking, do I actually need German here in daily life? Or how much German do I need? And how do I learn it in the most efficient way without wasting years on the wrong things? Then this conversation is for you. Because today we're not just talking about German in theory, we're talking about what it looks like to build German for real life and to hopefully inspire as many of you guys to either start this journey or to continue with your learning journey. Hallo Rosi from Saudi Arabia, Deutsch Thoughts, guten Abend. Martha from Seaside Oregano, hallo und wunderbar. Columbus, Ohio, and also Science at East joining from India. Amazing. And if we haven't met yet, my name is Salome. I'm the founder of the YouTube channel Speak Fluent German and also the creator of the German Fluency Academy, where I help English speakers go from zero German to confident real life communication. And this is exactly the kind of journey Gail has been on. And today we'll talk about where she started, what helped her move through the fear and doubts in the beginning, and how she built confidence, how German helped her relocation process, and what advice she has for anyone who is still at the beginning of this journey. And we'll also hear her speak German a little bit later today. So if you have any questions as we go, feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll try to answer as many of them as possible. And I'll go ahead and bring Gail on. So, hallo Gail, herzlich
Hi,
willkommen.
everyone.
Herzlich willkommen. Thank you so much for being here and for being willing to share your story with everyone today. I'm really excited for this conversation because I know it's going to encourage so many learners who are either just getting started or wondering if this is even possible for them. So, obviously, I know who you are, but for anyone who is watching, could you briefly introduce yourself? Who are you? What do you do? And where are you currently based in Germany?
Yeah, guten Tag und guten Abend alle zusammen. My name is Gail Eloise and I work as a preschool teacher. Previously, I live and work in Singapore for 8 years, and I'm currently starting a new journey here in Germany, still as an Erzieherin or an early childhood educator.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, that's really amazing. And just lost my voice here. What originally motivated you to start learning German? Was it initially like the relocation plans, or did you have any previous exposure to German?
Well, back in Singapore, I also work in a German preschool, but basically, it's the opportunity of making long term goals, and I'm trying to see what's on the other side of the fence. And at this stage, I feel like most people are already contented with where they are in life, but on the contrary, I'm still on the curious side and trying all my limits and learning something new.
Yeah, and that's really amazing. That also takes a lot of courage when you're, already settled in. I mean, you had a very, secure
Yeah.
job and life in Singapore, and then deciding, okay, I'm going to pack everything up and just move across, continents and start a completely new chapter. That is really amazing and takes a lot of courage and just also belief in yourself. I would like to kind of rewind a little bit and take you back through memory lane. When you joined the German Fluency Academy at the very beginning, you were starting from complete scratch, right? Like, what did German feel like to you in the very beginning?
Well, I can still clearly remember when I first joined the German Fluency Academy. I had zero knowledge of German, and I knew for sure that it's going to be a challenging and difficult language to learn. And I was also a bit doubtful of myself if I could still do this. And although inside me, I know that I'm a curious person, and I'm always interested to knowing something new. And one of the challenges actually that came to me face to face was like finding a teacher or a platform that is patient, a program that is supportive, and yeah, basically just a community where I can enjoy learning and at the same time can help me progress.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way nowadays. It seems like for especially the German language, there's just so much out there. Like I usually say that that is technically or really the biggest struggle, that there is so much resource out there that it's very difficult to differentiate what's good and what's not good, and to really decide for oneself, okay, which part should I even take? Where should I even get started? Because there is just an overflow of information, which can be really or make it really difficult to focus on like the exact steps to get to a
Exactly.
conversational level. You've mentioned like a supportive program and like a community was very important to you. Why did that matter to you so much?
Well, actually, I'm just scared of learning new things. And, I learned that, my this fear can become courage. And I only realized this when I thought probably the fear is coming from, I don't know anything about this thing because it's something new to me. And yeah, and when I started, listening and of course attending our online sessions and all, you're very supportive, and I felt like there is already direction and clarity, so I know where I'm heading. And you were there along the way, and same with the friends that I've had, in this community.
Hmm.
And I was also encouraged to learn German as natural as possible. So it's not like pressuring myself to know new vocabularies or grammar rules by the book. So it's something that's always conversational, always useful, especially in my everyday life. Yeah, so I think the most important thing to start with is we make mistakes, and it's fun to still have mistakes, and from there we can learn. And this is actually what we're having in our platform.
Yeah, that's really important to have like a safe environment where you can learn and grow.
Exactly.
And for anyone who has just joined us to right now, I see a lot of new people also joining the live stream. I'm speaking with one of our students of the German Fluency Academy, Gail, about how she went from zero German to now living and working in Germany and using German every single day. And if you want that kind of support with building that kind of confidence too, you can apply for the German Fluency Academy at speakfluentgerman.com/apply. And as I said, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll make sure to leave some time at the end to go over as many questions as possible. You've said something really beautiful there, Gail. You've mentioned you've really were able to turn your fears into courage. And I was wondering what helped you make that shift. Was it like one specific moment of like, okay, now I'm just gonna start, speaking German in day to day life, even if it's may not be perfect? Or was it like a gradual process? Like, how did that feel like for you?
um well, it's a progress. It's not an overnight thing. And yeah, I think that well, definitely learning German language is a plus point for me when I relocated here in Germany, and it helped me navigate day to day with a day to day conversation and exchanges. And yeah, from simply buying groceries, and ordering
Yeah.
food, or traveling around, or even going to work, or just stepping into the bus, and all these things, and even making friends. So there's a big advantage really if we have that first step of knowing the language, and it makes us feel more comfortable and confident. Yeah. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
it.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And as adult learners, we often, have like our inner critic is usually the loudest. A lot of times people are scared or feel embarrassed to make mistakes or sounding stupid. And you've just really naturally overcame that challenge. So I'm wondering, what would you say to someone who, feels embarrassed about making mistakes in German and that's kind of holding them back from making progress or just trying to start the journey?
Well, Well, I can say from my experience that, every journey really begins with a single step forward. And that single step forward really means a lot. I, well, for me, because you cannot get into that destination without feeling uncomfortable. And that uncomfortable feeling, gives you that one step forward, to learn something new and be better at something. And I think first is to just look for a credible program. That's very important, with the right tools, that gives you the direction, and of course, teacher that is knowledgeable with, with all these things, because it's not easy. For me, it's not easy to learn a new thing, especially the language. But yeah, I think it's not really that impossible. It's a doable thing, but you just have to have that kind of supportive community as well.
Mhm. And you moving through that discomfort was also really rewarded on the other hand, right? Because what I really love about your story is that German didn't just help you with the relocation process or also, helped you pass the exams. It also opened the door to new friendships. And that brings me to this very first picture with Nadia, actually, who is one of our other members as well, and you guys got connected. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I just wanna say thank you for making us as a partner, a language partner, because it really helps me to be comfortable with using the language, especially when we converse, when we talk. And this picture, when I visited Germany for the first time as a tourist, so we went out, and then we ate, and then we had this thing that who will order first. So she speaks in German, and yeah, and I was like, yeah, I can also do that. So this all these kinds of exchange makes it easier as well. And then we also do like homeworks together. So yeah, what I like about this is I built not only myself in this area, but also connection with people and relationship. And thank you, Salome, for that.
Yeah, that's really what it is all about. Like this is my main mission really with helping people to learn German is to have real connections with people because that's the ultimate goal. Like I feel like sometimes especially in nowadays where we have so many resources, people get really lost in thinking, okay, what's the next best hack to fast track my learning? What's the next app that I should use? When in reality, or what's like all of the grammar structures and things that I need to memorize, when in reality the main focus or what is actually going to keep us going are these friendships, are these connections, are being able, to make small talk or also to connect with colleagues and with family members as well. So I have one more picture here with your colleagues, and who are not just colleagues but also turned into friends. Tell us a little bit about that, and also, did you feel
Yeah.
like knowing German prior really helped you form those deeper connections?
Yeah, so these are my girls from my kita. So it's a bilingual school. Although I gained friends from different parts of the world. Like I have like a local friend and friends from Spain, and of course from the Philippines where I came from. So yeah, it makes easier, and it makes more inclusive that I'm able to understand them, and we converse. It doesn't have to be perfect German, but at least day to day, we I get to practice my German with them, and they get to talk to me. And yeah, I guess that's all that matters. Yeah, and the
For
communication
sure.
is there.
For sure. And you have relocated to Stuttgart, right? That's where you're currently based at. Um, what does that picture, that image mean to you personally? Like knowing this is your new home now, to
Yeah, well,
bring it
yeah,
to a point.
yeah, for sure. There's a lot of different new things for me, like registering for my meldung, and yeah, navigating around, and yeah, they are my friends who help me also to navigate around Stuttgart and just feel comfortable. Like this is my second home now. So yeah, I'm very happy to be with them.
That's a really, really exciting. And yeah, it does take a lot of work to, relocate somewhere and then settling in and also feeling at home. It's really a process. It does not happen overnight. So just seeing you so happy with your friends there and feeling comfortable, is really everything. So I'm really, really happy for you. We have one more picture of you from in different places in Germany. So you've also, used the opportunity to travel around, like in Munich, as München, Heidelberg, and I guess, like, knowing German and being able to navigate these more independently without relying others to speak German, and also or to speak English, also helped with your confidence in taking these trips, right? Like, can you tell us a little bit about those experiences?
Yeah, it's difficult to navigate around, to go and travel around, which is this traveling is one of my biggest thing in life. So it helps that, when you hear the train advisories, like if there's any verspätung or if there's any differences in the timing and all. So all this are in German. There's also like English translation, but when you are in the suburbs, sometimes you don't hear English anymore, and it helps that you are able to understand simple German, and it helps because in our daily like conversations with our friends and all, and of course in our platform, we always make it a point that it's conversational and it's from day to day experiences. So that really helped me a lot, actually.
Yeah, for sure. These, like, daily life milestones or wins are so important. As I love to say in our weekly sessions, we love celebrating you guys as wins, because that's really the first step of building up that confidence. Like, that confidence is just an accumulation of all of these small daily interactions in German that you collect, that are proof and evidence for you that you can actually do this. So that's really, really cool that you were able to move through that process and are able to navigate daily life in Germany. And I think this is really such an important point, because German is not just something you studied for an exam. It really became part of your life, and at work, in daily life situations. And for anyone who is joining right now and listening to that and thinking, this is exactly the kind of German I want to build as well, but I need support and structure to focus on, the things that actually truly matter to accelerate your progress, you can apply for our program at speakfluentgerman.com/apply. And this is where you'll also meet Gail inside our community. So you're still, a part of our community, as we're continue to work on your language skills. Now, I would also love to do a short segment in German together. Nothing formal, just, a few simple questions so everyone can hear your German. Bist du bereit, Gail?
Ja, ich bin bereit.
Okay, los
Ich werde
geht's.
es versuchen und ich werde auch auf Deutsch machen.
Ja, sehr schön. Gail, wie gefällt dir Deutschland und deine Arbeit im Kindergarten?
Ja, ich genieße mein Arbeit hier wirklich und alles ist viel ruhiger. Es gibt so viele neue Orte in Deutschland zu entdecken und
Mhm.
ja, deshalb gefällt es mir hier so gut. Außerdem arbeite ich als Erzieherin im Kindergarten. Die Arbeit ist zwar herausfordernd, aber sie macht auch Spaß. Und
Ja.
ich kann jeden Tag mit den Kindern spielen und lernen. Ja.
Oh, das ist wirklich schön, dass du ja mit den Kindern spielen und lernen kannst und auch Deutsch
Ja.
auf der Arbeit mit deinen Kollegen sprichst und dass deine Kollegen jetzt auch deine Freunde sind. Das ist wirklich sehr, sehr schön. Was machst du denn gerne in deiner Freizeit in Deutschland?
Wenn ich Zeit habe, gehe ich spazieren oder laufen. Weil ich das Reisen liebe, besuche ich am Wochenende oft neue Orte, zum Beispiel ja Heidelberg, Ludwigsburg, Baden-Baden und so weiter. Außerdem koche ich gerne, deshalb lade ich manchmal Freunde zu mir nach Hause ein.
Oh,
Aber
cool.
wenn ich müde bin, natürlich bleibe ich einfach zu Hause und schaue Filme auf Netflix.
Ja, ich glaube, das können viele nachvollziehen. Wenn man müde ist, dann möchte man einfach nur entspannen. Und es ist wirklich schön, dass du für deine Freunde kochst. Kochst du meistens philippinisches Essen oder internationales Essen oder deutsches Essen?
Beide, ja, internationales und philippinisches Essen. Ja, wir manchmal koche ich zusammen.
Oh,
Kochen wir
schön.
zusammen, ja.
Das ist wirklich sehr schön, dass du dann Hilfe in der Küche bekommst. Gail, was war am Anfang in Deutschland schwierig für dich?
Natürlich am Anfang wirkt es alles schwierig. Und ja, natürlich das Lernen der deutschen Sprache eine große Herausforderung.
Mhm.
Ähm, Manchmal konnte ich nicht alles verstehen.
Mhm.
Äh, ja, auch das Wetter, das deutsche Wetter war neu für mich.
Es geht die ganze
Manchmal
Zeit hoch und
sonnig,
runter.
manchmal
Ja,
windig, manchmal ja, alle verschiedene Wetter.
ja, verschiedene
Außerdem
Temperaturen.
ja, außerdem gab es viele neue Regeln, die äh, nicht einfach waren, aber mit der Zeit habe ich mich daran gewohnt, und ich fühle mich jetzt auch viel organisierter. Ja, am meisten hat mir geholfen, jeden Tag ein bisschen Deutsch zu lernen. Ich
Ja,
habe auch mit meinen Kollegen gesprochen und Videos auf Deutsch geschaut.
ja,
Und
wie man
wenn
es auf
wir
Deutsch sagt.
wirklich viele, ja, ja, und wir haben wirklich viele Materialien auf der GFA-Plattform. Und Salome ist
Mhm.
immer da und uns zu begleiten und unterstützen. Und ja, die Praxis im Alltag ist sehr hilfreich. Ja.
Ja, danke schön, Gail, für deine netten Worte. And that was wonderful, Gail. And yeah, I think that was really, really amazing. Your progress is so amazing. Just thinking about when we first met, like you really started from complete scratch. You knew basically nothing in German, and now you're able to hold a conversation like this and speak German in day to day life is just truly amazing. And that's probably the most fulfilling and rewarding part of my job, which is why I love hosting these case studies as well and just being part of your journey. And I really want everyone watching to notice something here. This is what we mean by real life German. It's not necessarily about sounding perfect or sounding like a native speaker. It's really about communicating and expressing yourself and participating in the life you're building instead of just watching from the sidelines or watching from the tourist as a tourist in a place that you ultimately want to call home, right? Like when you go through this entire relocation process, you start a new job, you want to make new friends, you want to feel integrated, and you want to feel like you belong. And I think you've done an amazing job with that. And what advice would you give someone who is just starting their German learning journey and hopes to relocate and also work or build a life in Germany or Switzerland and Austria?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, it's always like starting with knowing which platform is really suitable for you, which
Mhm.
because that is very important to determine the clarity and the direction that you are headed to. So like in my experience and in my journey, it has always been the German Fluency Academy, and Salome has always been there. And at times we're in, I also fall short of my exercises and making up all my assignments and all. But she is always there to like message me and email me how am I doing, and always there. So I really appreciate that, Salome. Thank you so
Mhm.
much. So my advice is not only look for a good platform or a platform like what we have, but also a teacher that is really that is really that's really there for you, gonna take care of you. And because this helps, if you are comfortable with your teacher, with your community, it helps to learn anything, easier. And for this
Mhm.
sense, the German language.
Yeah, and I think what you've mentioned there is something that a lot of people can relate to. Like learning something new is not like a very streamlined path. There are lots of ups and downs, and sometimes life gets in the way, especially when you're also going through the relocation process. There are so many things to do, right? Like from visa applications to finding a new
Exactly.
job to settling in, all of these things, where it's so easy to just fall off track, and just knowing that there is a community and there are, there's a teacher or there's a program that is going to keep you accountable and keep you in check and just checking in on you to see, okay, how are things going, when are we getting back on track, I think is so important, because life happens. This is very, very normal. Everyone goes through these ups and downs, but just knowing that it's made easy for you to get back on track is so important. And yeah, for everyone watching, if you're listening to Gail's story and thinking this is the kind of transformation I want to, from not knowing where to start to having structure, from being afraid to speak to building the courage, and from studying German in theory to using it in daily life, work, and real conversations, then I would love to invite you to the German Fluency Academy. You can simply apply through the link speakfluentgerman.com/apply. And we'll stay on for a few more minutes. So if you have any questions for Gail or for me, drop them in the chat. Now, I think I saw one question right there is, how long did it take for you to become fluent, or to become, to be able to speak at that level? What would you say?
Yeah, well, there's no magic. There's no overnight thing that I am able to speak this way. I am not yet actually fluent, but it took me around a year to actually develop this kind of confidence and comfortability. But at the same time, it's not yet done. It's not yet finished. It's a
It's
process.
never finished.
It's
It's
never
never
finished.
it's really never finished, I think that about my own language learning journey as well, with English. Like, people hear me speak in English and they think, well, you sound fluent. I don't believe I'm finished. And I really believe that we're never really finished with learning, and that's also a really, beautiful part of that journey, that this is something that you can continue doing. And yeah, a year up to this level is really, really great. Some people sometimes waste, years on trying to get to a level where you are at, speaking so comfortably. And it's not necessarily, as I said, about sounding native or knowing all of the things, but getting to a level where you are confident in speaking the language. And maybe you still, obviously encounter situations where you might not know a word, or you don't know how to express something exactly, but you know enough and you have enough, like, good foundation to navigate through that as well. So that's really, really amazing. Paulo is here as well, says GFA is great. Thank you for sharing that, Paulo. And so nice to see some of our members here. Another G Spa has asked, how many hours per day did you practice? I'm pretty sure this has probably also been ups and downs, right? Like in
Yeah.
your journey, it's not like, okay, we set a schedule and this is now how it's going to be. As I said, like with relocating to a new place, there are lots of ups and downs in that journey. So, what would you say on average? How much did you invest in time?
Um, Actually, yeah, it's important that you have a routine every day, or at least in a week. And then you have to go outside, order some food. Like for me, if I feel hungry, what should I do? I go out and then I ask. people, and then I have to use the German language, of course. So I think it's more of how you apply it in your day-to-day life. It doesn't matter where you are. Like, it doesn't matter
Mhm.
if you're already in Germany or you're in other parts of the world. What does matter is that you are able to use it. Like with me and Nadia, my Sprachpartnerin. So Salome made it a point that, we talk, and then she asked, how are you guys doing, and all. So yeah, I think that's one of the most important things.
Yeah, and that's for sure one of the things that we kind of emphasize a lot inside the program is to really make it practical, to implement it into your day to day life. Whether it's, as you said, like collecting all of these small interactions in daily life with like ordering coffee, going to a bakery, asking for the bill in German, or just saying a simple greeting to the cashier. That's exactly where the confidence starts, by collecting all of these small daily wins and building that confidence from there. All right. Well, Gail, thank you so much for sharing your journey. One final question for you. When you think about the version of yourself who started with like zero German, still, living in Singapore, and the version of yourself today, living and working in Germany, going through this entire relocation process and really settling in, you have a job now. You're also, really content with the work that you're doing on the day-to-day basis. What is one thing that you're most proud of?
Well, I am proud actually to just be myself, and um, having that courage to step out of my comfort zone and feel the uncomfortable. And I'm also proud that I have joined this program with Salome. So that is one of the things that makes me confident where I am now. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. And Gail, thank you so much for, being here today and also for sharing your journey so openly, sharing all of the golden nuggets and tips with everyone. I am so proud of everything you've achieved, from, starting completely from scratch to passing your exams. We're not quite done yet, so there is still some more work to do there, but really excited, for what's coming for you and to relocating to Germany, to now using German in your daily life and work. And I know this conversation will encourage so many people who are watching and wondering if this is possible for them too. So thank you for your time today. And yeah, for everyone watching, keep going with your German. Ihr schafft das. Your future German speaking self will thank you. And we're going to wrap up here now. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Und ich
Ja,
wünsche
danke
euch
schön,
noch einen.
Salome. Und ja, ich freue mich, meine Erfahrungen mit Ihnen zu teilen. Ja.
Ja, danke schön. We're going to wrap up now. Thank you, everyone. Tschüss, macht's gut, Leute.
Tschüss.
Vielen Dank.